Hello, friends. We are just doing some hi-fi chat and other music-related stuff today. I didn't really have anything on my mind. I went through quite a number of different things this week. The flooded floors, the repairs. I had a couple of new CDs come in. I've got another CD that I'm waiting for, but that's going to be delivered by Spotify later on today. So essentially, I'm just here to spend some time with whoever shows up in my very sweaty room. You can see that I'm very shiny today. I've got some drinks on ice, so that's going to help a little bit. I do hope that my microphone and everything is working. I'm going to just check all of my settings. Audio in here seems to be right. The stereo audio, well, that's not really going to make a difference. Mic volume is a little low. Let me put this up just a little bit more. It was at 100, now it's a little bit more than that. And yeah, so I figured what I'm going to do is just roll through my Spotify release radar list. I'm going to do it this way instead of playing it in room. That way I get some feedback from the audience on the sound and the quality, so you can hear it on your end. I'm going to keep the volume pretty low in the mixer here. Hopefully that makes a difference. This will obviously get copyright blocked, so that's not really the point of today. Is just to share kind of like what's coming down the pipe. I'm going to do it a little bit different. The music discovery list, we'll do that tomorrow. I have that one that's over here somewhere. Playlists. Browser's a little slow. So the weekly discovery, I'll do that live tomorrow. So today we're just going to roam through the release radar. We're going to see what's on this list and see how all this stuff sounds. I am playing on the Bucart Audio A10s. The A10s are a powered bookshelf. I have a topping DAC with a topping preamp that has XLR outputs to the A10 speakers. A lot of my previous videos will showcase this system. So I'm just going to go through these songs, and if I see people pop up in the chat, then we'll have a chat about anything that comes up, any kind of hi-fi news. I might browse through some of the stuff that I see online, maybe do some YouTube videos. Let's see what everybody else is talking about. Put some of my friends in the spotlight for audio. So let's just go let's just go in order. Apologize for that. From the top here, we'll turn off shuffle, and we'll just start from the first song down, and I'll just adjust the volume as necessary. We'll get through 30 songs. We'll give it about a minute or skip through them because I'm doing it this way. This one won't be played. I'll have to talk about that when we get there. And all right, let's just check out some of these songs. If you like what you hear, then check them out for yourself, and we'll see what's up. So this is Mike Dawes and Charles Burnett. I don't know RSL. So this looks like a collaboration song from Mike Dawes and a bunch of other people. So that's actually really cool. I don't know how loud it is on that end, but you can let me know, any chat, anybody at all, let me know in the comments how it sounds, if it's clear or not. Pretty cool. I like that one. We're going to move on to every song here. We're going to just skip through a little bit of each of the songs. Now, like I've said, this stream is definitely going to get copyright blocked, or worse, because I'm using Spotify to actually stream everything. Could be running a big risk here. But the whole point is just to talk with my friends, have a conversation about audio and video, just to see what's going on. So let's see what else is up in this list. I've got the volume turned down a little bit more than my voice on purpose. This one's definitely a drum and bass. Reaper's known for a pretty impressive drum and bass. Now I know that I'm not playing audio out loud for everybody to listen to through the speakers. You're not listening to my audio system. This is playing sound straight through the browser. Just a different way to do this release radar thing. So I'm only going to do a minute and such. These songs sometimes have a drop in it, and then we'll check out every other song. See if there's anything interesting this week. Let's check out Sublab. This is Acrobatics with an X on the end. Probably going to be something a little slower, bassy though. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I didn't really have a plan today. I said I was going to go on live and set up a live yesterday, knowing that I had time to do this today. And I should just verify that my sound is working and nobody's really stuck around for the live yet. It's also earlier than my normal, so I want to make sure that everything is going well here. So my videos, let's check out the live. That's a nice drop in. I like that sound. That's pretty cool. Sublab has always been one of my favorites. So let me see. Yeah, I like that sound actually. That's actually pretty good. See, I'm still looking for, I have my phone in my hand here and I'm trying to check my own content list just to make sure that this live stream is actually going well, because I have no other way to test that it's visible, that it's live. There's not been any comments or anything coming in, so I don't know whether this is actually working or not. Might not be working for all I know. Actually don't. That's really strange that I don't know how to find the live video while I'm actually live. It doesn't give me a prompt for what I'm doing in the present. So let me see if I can find it. Should be live right now. Okay, let me just see. Should be live. Yes, okay, so confirmed. There is audio, so that's awesome. Okay, so we are doing release radar, but through a browser today instead of playing live through the speakers. Scotty, what's going on? Nice to see you. You're the first to comment and the first to be here for any amount of time. I do appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. We're only on number 4 out of 30, so let's see how some of these sound. We're going to zip through them. It might be a little short video today. I didn't plan on being on very long, so this is good news. As a subscriber, this is how it should work. I'm going to try to keep the song a little bit lower than my voice. I'm not really sure if the mix is going to work, but we're going to scroll through some of these to see how they work. I am playing it straight to the browser, so the music should be a little cleaner. Playing it for the room will be different, but we're going to do that tomorrow. So right now I'm just sampling some of these. Vasty flashback. Oh, that's a pretty good bass drop in. I like that. Definitely got some dubstep vibes going on that one. I'm not going to play the whole song because then I'd really be pushing my luck in terms of copyright. We are going to check them all out one at a time, though. Maybe something interesting will be on here. I love finding new songs for my playlist. And if I find it that it's interesting, I'll just add it to my playlist through here. Rene LaVice, local Canadian DJ living in the UK, always comes up with some really banger tracks. Really nice guy.
We go nuts when the bassline drops.
Sounds like a fun track. Pretty cool. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna get to the release radar together today. Chat, say or ask anything you wish. Ooh, that's fun.
When the bassline drops.
I like that. It's a nice drum and bass vibe. I know Rene LeVice has always got stuff like that. This whole list might be a little bit electronic, except for down here. I see Senkato coming up, and a couple of other artists down here on the bottom. So the music's going to change if you stick around. We'll get to some different stuff as we go. Usually these playlists are mixed in genre. It's not always just one kind. So we'll see how it goes. So as I mentioned in the intro to my video here, this week I've been dealing with the flooded floors, drying out all my room last week. They repaired the piping that was in the wall. I got a video that's talking about that on the channel already. The plumber did come in and they break into the wall and repair the pipes, and now it needs some insulation. The drywall needs to be fixed, so it's still not completely done yet. I still have to endure a little bit more. We'll see how some of these tracks go. This is like a distraction for me, because if I didn't have the music and I didn't have my friends to talk to, or I didn't have things to kind of pull my mind away from the negatives, what a mess. Here, a machine drum, Ice from Noisia. Pretty nice track, a little slow, a little down-tempo vibes. Let's check out what Vici and Audio. Vici is typically a dance artist. Audio is definitely drum and bass. We'll see how this collab ends up being. This is Bad Spirits, probably a single from either one of these guys. I didn't realize that they included video. And all of these songs are going to be a little bit dynamic, so the volume is going to swing back and forth. There are 30 songs in this list. We're going to just sample a little bit of this just to see what we can find. I like doing this with my friends live in chat so they can give me the feedback. Maybe ask me anything about audio and anything that's been going on in the industry, things that we're looking forward to. Equipment, gear, repairs, deals. Long weekend for us in Canada. Ooh, that's a lot of bass. Oh my god. Yeah, that's going in my playlist. Wow, I like that. My friend's probably gonna freak out when he hears this tune. Alright, let's move it on. I don't like sticking around. I'll listen to these songs on my own time. I'm basically here just for conversation. You guys can say anything you want, ask any questions. Should put a banner up in the bottom.
You keep on telling me lies. 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 You keep on telling me lies.
This is Lies by Birch. That's pretty cool. A lot of drum and bass in this mix. Let's see how this one goes. This is Lunar by PTR. Sounds like a slower track already. If we can change the shape of this. Doesn't matter if it's blocked or not. Orchard Audio Buckeye amps. Well, yeah, I did have Orchard Audio amps. I had the Star Crimson Premium Monos for a while. They were powering my Arundel Towers. I think they were really great. I liked the bass response from the premium models. I was testing out the Star Crimson Ultra amp for a little while, and I found that the distinct sound or the distinct power supplies from the Star Crimson Monos, the premiums, were a little bit better than the Ultra for my taste personally. Now I know that there's a version 2 module that Orchard Audio's got going on in the premium models. I think that might even be better and I might have to revisit those amps. So from that point and from my experiences with Orchard Audio, just to continue the journey with audio in general, what I did do is made a swap. I made a trade, and I ended up getting Buckeye amps with the Purify modules because I was really curious about those. I've always been a supporter of Purify. I've got the Radiant acoustics, the Bucard audios that have Purify drivers in them. So I thought, okay, cool, let's try something with Purify amps in them, right? Just want to gain some experience in audio and hi-fi, and that's what I did. So now I actually have heard both, and I have both, and now I've got the Purify module Buckeye amps with the 40,000 farad microfarad capacitor addition and an upgraded power supply. It was like the last few amps that were made with that series of Purify modules. Now there's a new one, there's a 9040, and I believe I have a 7040, so it's a little bit less on power, a little bit higher on the current, so it's used for like bass amps and subwoofers. But the current being what it is means that the bass control of this amplifier is actually really, really good. So it's the Buckeye 7040A with the capacitor bank and a micro audio power supply upgrade. So it's got a lot of juice, and I really like what they're doing with my audios. So that's Buckeye for it. That's what I have now. Who knows? I mean, my future is going to be mixed. I don't know what I'm going to next. I've had my eye on a lot of stuff, but I'm a really big fan of small Class D amps with high quality output because I don't like the idea of moving around 100 pounds of amplifiers. Same thing with big towers. I have 111 pound speakers now, and I might be moving to something very small like a bookshelf because I'm tired of moving big equipment around. It's really just my take on this stuff. You and Me by AC Slater. This sounds like a very groovy song. Let's skip Hans Zimmer F1. This movie came out today, so not today, but recently. No, we're gonna skip that. It's from a soundtrack. Barbara Streisand with String. Wow, this is pretty cool. This question, did you find a preamp yet? I think I'm going with the Tube 3. No, technically, no, I didn't. I'm still using the Rotel 1590 Mark II. It's still in my system. Now, the issue is I'm going to need to bridge the gap between my current preamp and the next preamp. And in order to do that, I'm going to need some money on the other side of that. So I'm going to have to sell the one I have, find one that I want. And the one that I've been really looking at is going to cost me about 4 times what I'm going to get for my Rotel. I was looking at the NAD M66 because it's got a streamer built in. It's got 4 subwoofer outputs. It's got direct management. I think that it offers a lot, and I might do that kind of thing. Staccato here. This guy's always got some really cool guitar stuff. So yeah, my preamp journey is still underway. I don't quite have that sorted out yet. As you know, as we all do, it's a costly hobby. So in order to find the right things, we need to experience it, afford it, all those kinds of nice things. I think I really like this new album by Staccato. Memento. Nice tones. I think a little more Asian sounding than his previous albums, where the flamenco stuff is very Spanish influenced. I have to ask him about what's going on with this one. He was actually featured. Some of his music was in the Karate Kid. What was it called? Cobra Kai, his show on Netflix. His music was used in one of the last series during the competition in Spain, so some of his music was used there. Question. I had the Hagel P20 but found the volume control on my DAC better. Interesting. Tubes might give me a different sound. They definitely will give a different sound, and depending on the speakers and the pairing and all that like technical stuff, the impedance load, sensitivity of the speakers, the space that you have. Generally warmer, generally a big sound stage. Like there's a different sense of space with tubes. Is what I'm I'm assuming they do. When I had Thomas and Stereo's TS120, that's what I found the difference in the Class A and the Class AB settings on that amp versus the Rotel I had at the time. I found that it was a little bit holographic. What you call, you could hear different depths or space with the tubes, which is really cool. But I could do the same thing if I tow my speakers out a little bit and use some reflection off the wall in my room. So whether you want to put it in the gear and dampen out your room, or liven up the room and then just play with your angles and your speaker's dispersion pattern, one way or the other, you're going to get bouncing and reflecting, whether it's in the signal itself or it's in the room and how you have everything set up. That's been my perspective so far. So there's more than one way to get to these results. Instead of spending a lot of money on it, I'd rather spend a little and use what I have already. So lo-fi Tokyo, that's funny. We're on I like to talk about hi-fi when we're listening to lo-fi as a band. Very smooth though. I like this kind of stuff. Compared to even all the really like aggressive music that I listen to, the majority of the music that I listen to is actually like this. This is pretty cool. This could go into one of my other lists. I haven't found anything like really good except for this one up here. This one, Bad Spirits by Audio and Beachy, was amazing. DAC volume control has beat out most solid state press I have had in my, yes, they can, and that's a very important point. It's not so much a lot of the other stuff like a tube stage, a solid state or whatever. If you don't get your analog control correct, your analog staging in any of the devices, whether it's a preamp or an amp or your input stage, your output stage, the DAC's analog output, the controlling, all of that stuff, if that doesn't work right, I mean, it doesn't matter how good some of the other components are. If the implementation of the analog outputs, input stage, all that kind of stuff aren't right, the volume controls, could have a really big problem. So that's actually a good point to bring up about volume control and units. I mean, the topping preamp that I'm using has basically a ladder, a relay ladder for the volume control, and it clicks when you turn it up the same way the Ever Solo does. Pretty good stuff. Let me see, we're going on to Mindy Aber. Hard to tell what instrument this is based on, if it's a solo artist. Usually they hold the guitar if it's a guitarist. Quite a low end on this song. Hits hard. Pretty laid back jazz. Nothing too fancy. Oh, saxophone player, there we go. Now we know what they're into. That's pretty good. Alright, let's change it up again. Let's check out what Patrick's got to say. There's a guitarist that I was talking about last week in the Discovery list. It seems like I'm getting some of the same artists in here. A generic jazz to listen to. We have one of those like easy listening playlists. We can come to listen to that. All my other saved playlists are over here. Some of these big lists here have lots and lots of songs. This one's got 3,500 songs or something like that. It's split into two lists on Qobuz. Alright, let's keep it moving. Back to Back by Acoustic Alchemy. Sounds like a funky band. Work, lots of left and right staging in the sound. I appreciate that. Good bass work underneath. Alright, let's move this one on. We're gonna have 21 more songs. Alto sax. It's a very small looking. Appreciate Neil for some of the questions. Thank you again to Scotty, our audio acoustic engineer, for dropping in today. That's pretty awesome. I know it's a little bit early on a Friday. Not everybody's going to be around for this one. The notifications go out a little bit late. Some of my friends in Europe just never get the message. By the time I'm online and I finish, then they're like, oh, I didn't even see that you were online, so it sucks. But you know what? The video still exists, so you guys can come in and just listen and follow along. And I mean, the song titles are here on the screen, so I don't have to really talk about it too much. We're just looking for new music. That's essentially what's going on here. Kashmir. Oh, a night out. More smooth jazz. Let's check out the next one. Got a few more to go, and then we're gonna call it quits. Really short one today. I don't want to take up too much time. Let's call it a day. Boulevard Pacific. It sounds very smooth and relaxing. We have this number of songs left to go through. We're gonna see how they sound, and then we're gonna call it a day. If we don't get any questions, if nobody's curious about what's going on, then we'll call it at that. We'll let these songs ride, and then tomorrow we'll come back and do a live about the same time, maybe 5 p.m. in the evening. We'll see what's going on, see how that sounds. I've got a new CD that I need to listen to, another one coming in, and a little bit I'm tracking on my Amazon deliveries. Quentin Gerard, another saxophone player, much deeper sounding smooth jazz, it says. Pretty cool. Streets of Gold, it says. It doesn't look like gold to me. It looks more like asphalt, whatever you want to call it. Gold. Pretty good mix. This list started off pretty hot. Some drum and bass, some dubstep, some slow bass music. This last half seems to be a lot of jazz. We're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna move on. Joseph Limburg, Albatross. It looks like a very interesting trumpet, but I don't believe that's what kind of an instrument it is. Or it's two different kinds of trumpets, one under his arm. I'm looking at the photo here in the corner. This one is not a trumpet per se. This one might be a standard one under the arm, the other direction. Imagine switching back and forth in the same song and playing it live. That'd be cool. Sounds cool. Let me just very interesting. It's called Mystic Journey. That's what it sounds like. Very soundtrack. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. Sam Hankins. Got 3 or 4 more songs to go through. One of them is going to be a banger. The other one might be metal. A couple of these might be metal. This one definitely is. Can't even play this song. I like a jazz song every once in a while. It helps me relax. When you listen to high energy music all the time, you gotta have something that kind of pulls you down again. So some of these songs are good for that. They're pretty generic though. Although I will say, the triangle in this song off to the left is pretty serious. Good stereo separation in the other instruments. And muted trumpets. Alright, summertime, that it is. We've been sweating for a week. I'm sweating now too because I closed my windows. We've got the humidity pouring in the windows right now. Paul Brown looks like a guitarist, artist, award-winning. Pretty vibey too. Pretty generic also. Nothing all that exciting. Paul Brown. Alright. Check out Penny Drop. Is this metal? It looks like maybe a metal guitarist. So a lot of solo artists do the guitar work on the computer and then program the drums. It's like a lot of the programming work going on here in the background. ADOS, 624 monthly listeners. It's not even all that much. Nice to get him out here. This is Release Radar after all, so this is what this playlist is meant for. It's meant for us to find some new artists, and that's pretty good that they're showcasing this artist. Not bad. Good chorus sound. Nice build. Alright, let's switch it up. We're going to go to Slang Dog's Blurred Vision. Usually this guy, Blurred Vision, has some pretty exciting songs for me. I've been adding a lot of his songs to some of my demo playlists. It's usually a surprise, but also very exciting. Usually like really deep and like textured bass lines, so that's why I use this stuff for demo songs. Let's see how this song goes. I've never heard this one. Drop in yet. This is the build up to the drop. We'll see how this one goes. I got 2 more songs and I'm gonna get out of here. That's it for the day.
Selector, run that.
Ooh, that's some subwoofer workout for you. That's vibey too. I like that. Yeah, that's definitely going in one of my playlists. Vibey tracks. You guys can follow along if you follow me on Spotify. If you
Watch
have
me
any
bring
access
down,
to the
fuck you.
list. Check out these lists on your own and listen to them at home. Alright, 2 more songs left. Thank you to those who have joined in today to see what's going on. This has been Release Radar according to the algorithm fed to me personally. Just wanted to run something to put into the video world this week. It's not always easy coming up with new topics when I have no new equipment, and like everything out there is already been talked about. But I don't see a reason why I need to say the same thing to other people just to have myself on a video. I mean, repeated information is so boring. The other song goes, then we have 1 more, and then that's it for my day. Release Radar was pretty short, a lot of jazz in there, a lot of drum and bass in there. We'll see how this one goes, and then we'll call it quits. Hopefully all the sounds broadcasting to the other side are appropriate. This one's by Deidre, Planet Rage, typically a drum and bass artist. Very noisy, however. Music like this, you don't always want to play at HiFi shows. It gets a little bit too much in the system. But it is exciting, so I like to find some new stuff. Well, that's a lot of bass. Nice switch up. And another switch up into the drop. Cool. Alright, 1 more tune, and then I'm going to get out of here. Matt Moss, I don't remember what this kind of music is. Could be slow electronic, and it might be a good way to end the stream. Again, thanks for my friends that joined in today, very short notice. My notifications go out only a couple of days ahead of time, and then when I go live, the emails or whatnot, if you're subscribed and the bells and all that stuff, then you get notifications that way. You can come in and check everything out. Otherwise, cool. Thank you for joining in and afterwards watching the stream and, you know, walking through these 30 or so songs. If there's something in the playlist that you like, then what I've done today is meaningful. Not all the songs are going to be in good taste for everyone, but that's why we listen to it, to find out if it's any good or not. This one sounds really slow and just laid back, so pretty good outro music. Pull this one off. I do appreciate any support that people have shown, my friends that join, comments that you leave, all of it matters to me. So I'm going to leave you with that. We're going to get out of here. This has been the Release Radar. The 30 or so songs that we listened to, some of them were really exciting. I added a couple to my playlist. maybe you'll like some for your playlist. You can watch the replay if you're joining in late or live. I will be doing the weekly discovery playlist tomorrow, and then we'll be listening to the Arundel Towers live. I'll give my thoughts and opinions there, a little bit different format. And I have a new CD or a couple CDs that I might be able to play tomorrow and just talk about. So anyways, that's enough for me. This song, to lead us out, Matmos, the chrome reflects, what does it say? The chrome reflects our image. Cool. All right, that's enough for me. Thank you for joining and watching. I'm going to get out of here when I get some cool air and take it easy. Thanks a lot for the attention, the support, the comments, all my friends that send me messages, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. I'll see you in the next video, and have a great weekend.